You are not poor. You are programmed to spend. And before you disagree, stay with me until the end. Because this isn't about blaming you. It's about exposing something most people never see. Something subtle. Something quiet. Something that has been shaping your financial life for years without you realizing it. If you're interested in the hidden psychology behind money, without hype, without get-rich-quick fantasies, subscribe to Mr. Hidden, like this video, and watch until the end. What you understand today might quietly change your financial future. Most people believe their financial situation is the result of external circumstances. Low salary, high prices, limited opportunities, bad economy, wrong country, unfair system. And yes, those things matter. But here's something uncomfortable. Two people can earn the same income for 5 years and end up in completely different financial realities. One builds savings, one builds debt, one builds options, one builds stress. Why? Because money is not just math, it's behavior. Every single day you make dozens of financial decisions. Almost none of them are purely logical. You don't buy because you need something. You buy because you feel something. Advertising doesn't sell products. It sells emotional states, security, status, belonging, relief, reward, escape, validation. And your brain reacts to the promise of emotion, not the price. When you press buy, your reward system activates. Dopamine is released. For a brief moment, you feel in control, satisfied, upgraded, ahead. But that feeling fades. The money doesn't. The problem isn't that you enjoy spending. The problem is that your nervous system learns patterns. The more often you connect emotion with spending, the stronger that neural pathway becomes. Over time, it stops being a decision. It becomes a reflex. You're stressed, you order food. You feel behind in life, you upgrade your phone. You feel unappreciated, you treat yourself. You feel bored, you scroll and shop. You feel insecure, you buy something that signals confidence. Not because you calculated long-term value, but because your nervous system wanted relief. And modern systems are designed to remove friction between impulse and action. One-click payments, instant credit approval. Buy now, pay later. Subscriptions so small they feel invisible. Auto renewals you forget about. The less time you have to think, the less likely you are to question the decision. And here's something important. Wealth often begins with friction. A pause between desire and action. A small interruption between emotion and transaction. Most people never pause. They react. And reaction is profitable, just not for you. There's another layer most people ignore. We spend to match our environment, to keep up with friends, to avoid feeling left behind, to signal success, to protect our image, to maintain identity. Social comparison is one of the strongest psychological drivers of financial behavior. You see someone's vacation, you don't see their savings account. You see someone's car, you don't see their debt. You see someone's apartment, you don't see their stress. You see lifestyle, not leverage. Your brain compares visible signals, not financial structure. And comparison triggers something powerful: fear of falling behind. But here's the trick. This fear doesn't feel like fear. It feels like motivation. I should have that too. I deserve that level. I can't stay where I am. It's time to upgrade. But often, it's not ambition. It's social pressure disguised as self-improvement. There's a psychological trap I call, it's just a small amount. Daily coffee, unused subscriptions, impulse upgrades, delivery fees, convenience spending, microtransactions. Each time your brain says, it's not that much, and in isolation it's true. But your brain doesn't think in annual totals. It thinks in moments. It thinks in emotions. Financial reality is not created by one big decision. It is shaped by repeated small behaviors. Habits compound, not just investments. Here's the paradox. People think wealth comes from increasing income. But more often, wealth comes from managing impulses. You can double your salary and remain financially stuck. Why? Because spending often scales with income. This is called lifestyle inflation. The more you earn, the more you allow yourself to spend. Better apartment, better car, better restaurants, better gadgets, better vacations. Nothing extreme, just slightly higher. And your brain will always find justification. I worked hard. I deserve this. This is an investment in myself. I'm at a new level now. Rationalization is one of the most sophisticated forms of self-deception. It turns emotional decisions into logical stories. And as long as the story sounds reasonable, behavior doesn't change. But here's something even deeper. Many people have subconscious resistance to money. If you grew up hearing that, rich people are greedy, money changes people, you can't earn a lot honestly. People like us don't become wealthy. You may unconsciously associate wealth with something negative. Consciously, you want more. Subconsciously, you don't feel safe having it. So what happens? You earn more and spend it quickly. You receive a bonus and it disappears. You finally save and an emergency magically appears. You never hold momentum long enough for capital to build. That's not a budgeting issue. That's identity conflict. Financial behavior is an expression of self-concept. If you see yourself as someone who always struggles, your decisions will reflect scarcity. If you see yourself as someone who is bad with money, you will unconsciously prove it true. If you see yourself as someone who manages resources carefully, your behavior shifts. Wealth is rarely an event. It is a pattern of controlled impulses, a pattern of delayed gratification, a pattern of conscious decisions repeated consistently, a pattern of saying, "not now," without feeling deprived. The difference between staying stuck and building wealth is often not effort. It's awareness. One person works hard and spends automatically. Another works hard and observes themselves. They notice their triggers. They question their impulses. They track their behavior without judgment. They slow down decisions. They sit with discomfort instead of escaping it. They become curious about their own behavior. And over time, that awareness compounds. Awareness creates space. Space creates choice. Choice creates change. You are not poor because you lack effort. You are often stuck because your financial behavior is automatic. And automation, when unconscious, works against you. The good news? Programming can be rewritten. Not overnight. Not through motivation. Not through watching one video. But through observation. Through small pauses. Through building friction intentionally. Next time you want to buy something, don't forbid yourself. Forbidding creates rebellion. Pause. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Is this a need or an emotional reaction? What happens if I wait 24 hours? Does this decision build my future or soothe my present? If nobody could see this purchase, would I still want it? Sometimes 30 seconds of awareness is enough to change the trajectory of a year. Sometimes one avoided impulse equals 1 month of freedom later. Wealth is not about never spending. It's about understanding why you spend. It's about separating emotion from transaction. It's about choosing long-term stability over short-term stimulation. Because once you understand the pattern, you regain control. And control, not income, is the foundation of financial stability. Income without control creates chaos. Control without high income still builds progress. If this perspective made you see your habits differently, subscribe to Mr. Hidden, like this video, and comment, "I'm starting to notice my decisions." Awareness is quiet. It doesn't look dramatic. It doesn't feel powerful in the moment, but it changes trajectories. And once you see the invisible forces shaping your money, you can finally decide who's in control. Not the algorithm. Not the advertisement. Not your impulse. You.